Hello, everyone. Today, I'll be discussing the ecology of Praya Dubia. Before we discuss anything else, we need to start with where it's located. It inhabits a range of 700 meters, or 2,300 feet, to 1,000 meters, or 3,300 feet, below the ocean's surface. This would categorize it as living within the Mesopelagic zone, or the twilight zone. It can be found along coasts, the ocean floor, if it meets up with the twilight zone, or the open ocean, as this diagram demonstrates here. It has been sighted along the South Pacific as well as amongst the North Atlantic, suggesting that this species can be found worldwide. Its habitat presents a couple challenges that Praya Dubia has to address, the first of which being pressure. Every 10 meters of depth in the ocean correlates to around 1 atmosphere of additional pressure, or 14.6 pounds per square inch. If we do some simple math, that means Praya Dubia will have to deal with 70 to 100 additional atmospheres, or a maximum of 1,460 pounds per square inch that we don't have to deal with. Because of this additional pressure, it may have been forced to live a more gelatinous morphology, where its internal fluids establishes a pressure equilibrium with the external forces that may be acting upon it. This makes sure that it doesn't get as crushed as, let's say, an organism that does have a hollow body cavity. Additionally, the thermocline can be found within the Priodubia's habitat. The thermocline is a small layer of the ocean that separates the characteristics of the shallow layers to the deeper ocean. Not only is the pressure rapidly increasing as you traverse the thermocline, but the temperature also rapidly plummets as well. Pridubia is sensitive and reliant on its environment for thermal regulation, but because of the fact that it has to contend with the thermocline, it may have been forced to become more flexible and more adaptable with its regulation of its temperature. Finally, the mesopelagic zone is extremely dark. While not completely absent of light, photosynthesis cannot happen here. Because of this darkness, Pryodubia, along with many other oceanic organisms, has adopted bioluminescence, not only to attract prey to its array of tentacles, but also for intracolonial communication between its zooids. Because of the relationship between its environment and its development amongst its lifespan, Pryoduvia is an R-selected organism. Its whole population demonstrates a type 3 survivorship curve. This is because a fully developed colony is more defensible than a single-cellular protozooid. As a colony ages, its rate of fatalities also decrease. Now, for interactions amongst its community, it is considered to be a carnivorous predator, feasting on krill, copepod, small fishes, as well as other gelatinous organisms. Because of the fact that it feasts on organisms such as fish and krill, it can be considered a secondary to tertiary predator. It has no naturally occurring predators of its own. Because of this, it can be considered an apex organism within its food chain and food webs that it inhabits. Finally, let's discuss conservation. The International Union for the Preservation for the Conservation of Nature lists Pryodubia as unevaluated. This is simply due to the fact of how elusive Pryodubia is. We simply do not have enough specimen or enough data to make a competent population-reaching statistical analysis. As time goes on and we get more research, This is expected to change. However, as of now, we can still make educated guesses on the current factors that are affecting Pridebia right now. The foremost being global warming. While global warming may have limited impact on individual organisms of Pridubia, given the fact that the thermocline has made it more resilient amongst dynamic temperature changes, Pridubia, along with every other organism on Earth, is reliant on the food web. If global warming impacts the fragility of the food web, then the foundations that set up Pridubia may collapse. Therefore, any conservation methods to conserve Pridubia must deal with global warming as a whole. I believe that that is all that I have for you. Thank you for your time.